welcome back to Thursday's edition of Mr. Hall Storytime. We were just at the point where Horrid Henry was stuck behind everything, the leaf in the play, and we've got Perfect Peter looking very proud. However, it doesn't look like Henry's going to be too happy. So what's going to happen? Said Dad. Shh, hissed the parents beside them. Henry watched the tomatoes and beans searching on tiptoe for the magic bananas. I'm not staying back here, he thought, and pushed his way through the raindrops. Stop pushing, Henry, hissed lazy Linda. Henry pushed harder. They did a few pitter-pats with the other raindrops. Miss Tutu stretched out a bony arm and yanked Henry back behind the scenery. Who wants to be a raindrop anyway, thought Henry. I can do what I like. Hidden here, the tomatoes weaved in and out, twirling. The beans pirouetted, the bananas pointed their toes and swayed. The raindrops pitter-pattered. Henry flapped his arms and pretended he was a pterodactyl, about to pounce on Miss Tutu. Round and round he flew, homing in on his prey. Perfect Peter stepped to the front and began his solo. There he is, with all the bananas. And there's Perfect Peter. Surely it's not going to be that perfect. Tap, 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 tap. Crash! One giant green leaf fell on top of the raindrops, knocking them over. The raindrops collided with the tomatoes. The tomatoes smashed into the string beans. The string beans bumped into the bananas. Perfect Peter turned his head to see what was happening and danced off the stage into the front row. Miss Tutu fainted. The only person still standing on stage was Henry. Stomp, 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 stomp. Henry did his elephant dance. Boom, 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 boom. Henry did his wild buffalo dance. There he is, taking centre stage. Miss Tutu is not happy. Peter tried to scramble back on stage. The curtain fell. There was a long silence, then Henry's parents clapped. No one else did, so Henry's parents stopped. All the other parents ran up to Miss Tutu and started shouting, I don't see why that horrid boy should have such a long solo while all Linda did was lie on the floor, yelled one mother. My Geoffrey is a much better dancer than that boy, shouted another. He shouldn't have done that solo. I didn't know you taught modern dance, Miss Tutu, said Violet's mother. Come, Violet, she added, sweeping from the room. Henry! Screeched Miss Tutu. Leave my dance studio at once. Whoopee! Shouted Henry. He knew that next Saturday he would be at karate class at last. It all worked out. Next chapter is Horrid Henry and Moody Margaret. What a lovely pair they sound. I'm Captain Hook. No, I'm Captain Hook. I'm Captain Hook, said Horrid Henry. I'm Captain Hook, said Moody Margaret. They glared at each other. It's my hook, said Moody Margaret. Moody Margaret lived next door. She did not like Horrid Henry, and surprisingly, Horrid Henry did not like her. But when Rude Ralph was busy, Clever Claire had flew, and Sour Susan was her enemy, Margaret would jump over the wall to play with Henry. Actually, it's my turn to be Hook now, said Perfect Peter. I've been the prisoner for such a long time. Prisoner? Be quiet, said Henry. Prisoner? Walk the plank, said Margaret. But I've walked it 14 times already, said Peter. Please can I be Hook now? No, be Thunder, said Moody Margaret. Now out my way, worm. And she swashbuckled across the deck, waving her hook and clutching her sword and dagger. Margaret had eye patches and skulls and crossbones and plumed hats and cutlasses and sabres and snickers knees. Henry had a stick. This was why Henry played with Margaret, but Henry had to do terrible things before playing with Margaret's swords. There's Margaret swashbuckling. Sometimes he had to sit and wait while she read a book. Sometimes he had to play mums and dads with her. Worst of all, and please don't tell anyone, sometimes he had to be a baby. Henry never knew what Margaret would do. When he put a spider on her arm, Margaret laughed. When he pulled her hair, Margaret pulled his harder. When Henry screamed, Margaret would scream louder. Or she would sing, or pretend not to hear. Sometimes Margaret was fun, but most of the time she was a moody old grouch. I won't play if I can't be Hook, said Horrid Henry. Margaret thought for a moment. We can both be Captain Hook, she said. But we only have one Hook, said Henry. Which I haven't played with yet, said Peter. Be quiet, prisoner, shouted Margaret. Mr. Smee, take him to jail. And they are discussing who's going to be Hook. Sorry. No, said Henry. You'll get your reward, Mr. Smee, said the captain, waving a hook. Mr. Smee dragged the prisoner to the jail. If you're very quiet, prisoner, then you'll be freed. You can be a pirate too, said Captain Hook. Now, give me the hook, said Mr. Smee. The captain reluctantly handed it over. Now I'm Captain Hook, and you're Mr. Smee, shouted Henry. I order everyone to walk the plank. I'm sick of playing pirate, said Margaret. Let's play something else. Henry was furious. That was just like Moody Margaret. Sorry, I'll get this standing up. Stay. We'll get there. Here we go. Yeah, I've got it. Perfect. Just take a little bit of time to think. Right. There's Moody Margaret away. Throwing her toys out the pram. Because she couldn't be Hook. However, they don't seem happy now. Well, I'm playing pirates, said Henry. Well, I'm not, said Margaret. Give me back my hook. No, said Henry. Moody Margaret opened her mouth and screamed. Once Margaret started screaming, she could go on and on and on. Henry gave her the hook. Margaret smiled. I'm hungry, she said. Got anything good to eat? Henry had 3 bags of crisps and 7 chocolate biscuits hidden in his room, but he certainly wasn't going to share them with Margaret. You can have a radish, said Henry. What else? Said Margaret. Carrot, said Henry. What else? Said Margaret. Glop, said Henry. What's glop? Something special that I can only make, said Henry. What's in it? Asked Margaret. That's a secret, said Henry. I bet it's yucky, said Margaret. Of course it's yucky, said Henry. I can make the yuckiest glop of all, said Margaret. That's because you don't know anything. No one can make yuckier glop than I can. I dare you to eat glop, said Margaret. I dare you back, said Henry. Dares go first. Margaret stood up very straight. All right, said Margaret. Glop starts with snails and worms, and she started poking under the bushes. Got one, she shouted, holding up a fat snail. Now for some worms. This glop sounds pretty disgusting. Would you like to eat glop? She got down on her hands and knees and started digging a hole. You can't put anything from outside into glop, said Henry quickly. Only stuff in the kitchen. Margaret looked at Henry. I thought we were making glop, she said. We are, said Henry. My way, because it's my house. Horrid Henry and Moody Margaret went into the gleaming white kitchen. Henry got out 2 wooden mixing spoons and a giant red bowl. I'll start, said Henry. He went to the cupboard and opened the doors. Porridge, said Henry, and he poured some into the bowl. Margaret opened the fridge and looked inside. She grabbed a small container. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. But you can see there's a list of lovely things in this glop that they're probably going to eat. Right, hope you have a lovely Thursday, and I'll see you for Friday as we head further into the book. Thank you for listening, and sorry about the malfunctions. I'll try and sort it out next time. See you later.